Welcome to Seize the Mains by Raj Malhotra's IAS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and this is season 3 of Seize the Mains, our daily answer writing initiative. As you know that we have moved this initiative to our website, you can directly go to rajiasacademy.com and here on the mains answer writing section, here you can click and you will find all the questions that have been shared till date and the answers also, the sample answers also. So today's discussion that we are taking is about a question on child labour. This is the 7th discussion for Seize the Mains season 3. So child labour was discussed in detail yesterday at 2:30 PM in weekly current affairs lecture by Snigdha ma'am. She discussed this topic in detail and this question was shared, that child labour is a menace that hollows down the future of a country. This is the statement, and discuss the causes of prevalence of child labour in India and also discuss what are the initiatives happening on global level and on Indian level to fight against child labour. For answer in 250 words. If you still have not answered this question, this is high time that you click on the link in the description. It will take you to our website, post your answer there and get it evaluated by us. Also the question for today, that was about human trafficking, that has been uploaded on our website. Again the link is there in the description, you can go there, answer that. And in any case, if you are not aware of human trafficking and you want to know the full topic, today's 2:30 PM discussion of weekly current affairs was taken by me and we have discussed human trafficking in detail on a global level and Indian level in that lecture. So moving on, this question has many parts to it. So it's the first thing that you have to do is breathe, don't get anxious on seeing such long questions. The first part is just the statement, quote and quote is the statement. With respect to this, you have to discuss the causes. This is a very direct part. The first part is discuss the causes of high prevalence of child labour in India. Also enumerate the measures taken by government. So the two parts of the question are very simple. Causes बताने हैं और measures बताने हैं कि कौन सी government ने क्या measures लिए हैं. So with basic understanding you can solve this question. The first part, statement unnecessarily नहीं दी जाती है question में. Statements in quote and quote help you frame your introduction and help you give a direction to your answer. So child labour is a menace that hollows down the future of a country. We will use this statement to frame our introduction. Now in introduction you have to talk generally about what the answer is, what the issue is. So let's start by defining child labour. What is child labour? Quickly look at the things highlighted in green here. Child labour typically means the employment of children in any manual work with or without payment. So basically children are involved. According to the latest reports, the social issues whenever you are answering anything about social issues, it is very important to quote international or national level reports. Exact data available नहीं होता, but जो international reports होती हैं, कोई भी national level index आता है, उससे related data आपको पता होना चाहिए regarding every social issue. So according to this UN report on child labour, around 160 million children are engaged in child labour, and at the global level, what is the percentage of GDP that we are contributing to curb this menace? National expenditure on social protection for children amounts to only 1.1% of GDP. The children are the future of the country and they are the future of our society, of our planet, and we give just around 1% of GDP to bring them out of child labour, to rehabilitate them. So as per now we'll give some data with regards to India and then we'll move the direction of the question to talk about causes of child labour in India. So this is 2011 census, that it is a deep-rooted social ill in India. As per this census, in the age group of 5 to 14 years, 10.1 million are engaged and in child labour. So what are the causes of this? Briefly we'll see the causes. If you have to read the full answer, you can click on the link in description of this question and the website has got full answer. Website पे full answer available है. The first thing is overpopulation. Yes, we are an overpopulated country. Resources limited हैं, poverty बहुत ज़्यादा है, illiteracy बहुत ज़्यादा है, unemployment बहुत ज़्यादा है, and all these factors combine together to force children into child labour, to get them out of schools and force them to earn for their families. Then there is the case of orphans. Also after this COVID-19 pandemic, the case of COVID orphans, जिन बच्चों के दोनों parents की death हो गई, that is very high in India, and even the governments have not realized how to address this issue, how to rehabilitate these children. Then we have the debt trap. Because of poverty and unemployment, a lot of people fall into debt trap. Then they push their children to work at a very young age, give up on education and start working. Then the cheap labor. जब बच्चों को एम्प्लॉय किया जाता है, when children are employed in some factories or industries, the employer has to pay very less amount for employing a child. वो कह देते हैं the child is not skilled or the child is too young to learn anything, even just domestic chores. So they pay very less for young children. So child labor amounts for cheap labor in India. What are the global measures? First of all, you have to see that June 12 is celebrated every year to raise awareness and activism to prevent child labor. It is celebrated as World Day Against Child Labor. So this is the first one. Then International Labour Organization has two conventions to fight against child labor. One is the Convention 182. Prelims में पूछा जा चुका है about these two conventions. ILO Convention 182, which deals with worst form of child labor, and Convention 138 that deals with the minimum age for employment. Then we have the Goal 8 of Sustainable Development Goals, which talks about eradicating child labor and modern forms of slavery. Now, what are the government measures that have been taken? Yesterday it was discussed about the National Child Labour Project or the Pencil Portal. Let's start with the beginning. So, in 1986, a Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act was brought in. Again, this amendment was introduced to this act in 2016, and the age of children was redefined, and what kind of children can be employed in what kind of industries they can be employed. This was defined by this, but in this particular 2016 amendment, the act completely prohibits employment of children below 14 years of age. Also, in our today's current affairs lecture of 2:30 p.m, we discussed about employment of children in entertainment industry. So go back to that lecture, just go through the recent guidelines, the draft guidelines of National Commission for Protection of Child Rights about so what are the conditions to employ children in the entertainment industry. Read about that, and you can quote those guidelines also into your answer, that these are also the steps taken against child labor in India or against exploitation of children. And India has ratified both the conventions of ILO with regards to child labor. So that ratification took place a few years back, so you can quote that also. Then we have the National Policy on Child Labor of 1987. Then we have this Pencil Portal, जो कि बहुत सारी ministries का, Ministry of Labour, Ministry of Women and Child Development and local police, they have come together and formed this Pencil Portal to report incidents of child labor, ताकि synergy बनी रहे ministries में और organizations में, so that they can report cases of child labor and children can be rehabilitated as soon as possible. Then we have the RTE Act of 2009. Right to Education Act of 2009 is there, which ensures free and compulsory education, free and compulsory elementary education to children between 6 to 14 years of age. So government schools are also providing this, and also it is the fundamental duty of parents and guardians to ensure that this education takes place, to ensure elementary education for their children. Again, some amendments were brought to few of the acts. For example, the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act prescribes severe punishment for people found guilty of retaining bonded labor. So you can talk about this amendment also. इसमें specific provision child labor का नहीं है, but bonded labor का है, especially with regards to children. So you can talk about that. Then we have the national draft national policy for domestic workers, which talks about the minimum wages for household helpers, even if they are employed after 14 years of age. So एक minimum salary prescribed है. Every police station in the country has a separate cell for juvenile, women and child protection. Also, children who are it is ensured that a comfortable environment is provided to children whenever they are taken to a police station. Then this is not a governmental effort starting from 10th. This 10th part is not a governmental effort, but you can talk about the Indian efforts that many NGOs are working in this regard. Mr. Kailash Satyarthi got the Nobel Prize for Peace for fighting against child labor in the country and on a global level. So you can write about him. Bachpan Bachao Andolan is being run by him. We have Care India, we have Child Rights in You, we have Global March Against Child Labor and things like that. Also, we have at the governmental level, National Child Labour Project Scheme. This is a scheme by central government of India to facilitate rehabilitation of child labourers, to put them back into the formal education system and to support their families by providing them vocational training so that they don't get back again into child labour, ताकि वो वापस से उस एम्प्लॉयमेंट में ना जाएं, वो रिहैबिलिटेट करके बड़े होकर एक अच्छी जॉब एक अच्छी जॉब ले पाए. नाउ इन कंक्लूजन यू ऑलवेज हैव टू राइट अ वे फॉरवर्ड. या तो आप सोल्यूशंस दीजिए कंक्लूजन में, या आप कुछ डेटा दीजिए जिससे इम्प्रूवमेंट हुई है. नेवर राइट अ सैड कंक्लूजन और अ डिप्रेसिंग कंक्लूजन. सो जस्ट से दैट इवन दो देयर वाज अ डिक्लाइन, जस्ट शो दैट देयर इज अ डिक्लाइन, but a lot of efforts have to be made in achieving sustainable development goal 8.7, and just say that synergy, a coordination between all the ministries and all the stakeholders, चाहे वो NGOs है, civil society है, or all the local people. You as well, if you are working somewhere or studying somewhere and you see a small child working in a canteen or any small establishment or any big establishment, just report that case to the nearest child labor reporting agency or to the nearest police station. So there are many NGOs also working in this regard, तो वो rehabilitation में काफ़ी help करते हैं, और the pencil portal is again there to help you out. So just say that especially after the pandemic, it is the need of the hour that we protect these children and we protect their rights, and these are the future of the country. So that's all about today. The question for today also has been uploaded on our website. Go back there, answer this question, and all the best to you. Stay tuned, keep writing answers.